Is it on?
Yeah.
All right. Good morning, everybody. This is South Carolina Senator Wes Climer from York County, doing a live Facebook town hall this morning to offer an update on the activities in the General Assembly so far. The Senate has been debating legislation known as constitutional carry. And a priority of mine, I'm thrilled to see it finally up for debate. Constitutional carry says anyone who is legally allowed to possess a gun may carry a gun, open or concealed, without having to first get permission from the government to do so. Some other legislation that's come up so far this year, the Senate passed Senator Michael Johnson's bill, Michael Johnson from up in the Fort Mill TGK area, to require hospitals and medical practices to notify parents about their children's medical and pharmaceutical histories. And it's totally ridiculous for any medical practice to say that the parent shouldn't have access to the child's medical history. It's pending consideration in the House. The Senate passed that prohibits ESG-related investments in the state's pension system, environment, social governance. The pension shouldn't be worried about ESG-related issues. The pension should be focused on profit. Expanding access to telemedicine is a way to make medical care more convenient, less costly for patients. Judicial reform. Judges are elected by the General Assembly. Too many. Folks on the JMSC have been less concerned with a fair and transparent process and more concerned with manipulating outcomes. A raft of liberal judges whose worldviews are wholly inconsistent with the prevailing worldview of the people of South Carolina. Catherine says, what do you think about the proposed changes to the teacher pay schedule? Try to say this as politely as I can. It is not a new thing. It's been going on forever. The General Assembly has, for the last 8 years, raised teacher pay every single year. It is my expectation and hope that teacher pay will continue to go up this year. Under the joint and several liability, the current system that we have, there's a dislocation between responsibility for an accident and then the responsibility to pay for the consequences of an accident. The people who caused an injury are the people who should pay for an injury, as opposed to people who are tangentially related to an injury having to pay for an injury that they really aren't responsible for, which is what our current system allows for. Lots of businesses are getting absolutely crushed by escalating insurance costs. Do you have an update on H3728, the CRT bill? The real sticking point on this issue is the method of enforcement of the statute. The Senate version creates a process that occurs within a school district to mediate disputes around CRT-related infractions. I have a strong preference for the House version of the bill that allows for a private cause of action, really puts teeth in the enforcement mechanism. Schools are not a place for political indoctrination. What Senator Massey's amendment does is say if you have a CWP, and you break the law, then whatever penalties are currently in the code are the penalties to which you can be held as a punishment for violating Title 1623 gun laws. If you do not have a CWP, if you chose not to get educated and practice and so on and so forth, and you violate gun laws in Title 1623, pointing and presenting, shooting into a residence or a business, taking a firearm into the schools, courthouse, or so on and so forth, then the judge can add additional days to that. I'd be fine to support the bill without that amendment, but the bottom line is no bill is going to pass without that amendment. And I'm not here to support firearm rights for criminals. I'm here to support firearm rights for law-abiding citizens.